Hi, I want to do a reading on the Michigan Governor, Gretchen Whitmer. Uh, I just have been concerned for her since I learned of the plot to kidnap her. But as I said, last night I finally passed out after being awake for like 2 or 3 days with very little sleep. And when I do that, I crash out. I mean, like, I don't usually miss dinner, you know? Even if I only eat lightly, I still eat. So I was out. And my daughter woke me up at 7:30 this morning. And I'm so glad she did because we had housekeeping coming in and other things going on. And I had a Zoom appointment, so it was like, oh my God. I felt like I had been like jolted. Well, I was with adrenaline. You know, I was just all like. So that reading is funny that I got the 45th constantly stuck instead of the 25th. But also annoying, so I apologize. My brain was, stuck on 45 as, being a crap thing that it has to happen. So, my apologies for that. I trust. When I edited that video, I had to. I thought, I'm not filming this over again. I don't have the time for that today. So, I'm just going to make this stay on the screen the whole time. This notice that, yes, I know I said 45 instead of 25 amendment. Okay, so I've got that. I know. Please make note when you go to watch a video, in case you don't. I guess I just assume that most people do, that you look in the description box and look to see if there's any extra comments that the creator of that content wants to inform you with regard to that video that they're sharing. So please make sure you do that. Because you can tell when people are lazy or they just don't, or something's real simple, because they don't bother to fill that in. But if you don't fill in information, frankly, as a creator, unless you get really big and you just kind of get lazy and you don't bother, but that's how you get people to view your stuff. So we who create these videos are aware that we have to be clear about the information we're relating to. So when we edit, we try and put notice up that we caught the error and apologize. Anyway, on to Gretchen, and I apologize if I lose my voice. I think the air quality is still not the best. We still have fires going here. It's not fully contained, but it's getting more so. Okay, so I want to shift. Gretchen is just one day after where she could have been a Leo. She's a Virgo, and so I tend to think she's probably going to have the wand and earth card representation may come up for her. Just so you know, fill you kind of in on how I read and my process. Everybody's different, but like someone so elegantly put, that they've been watching readers and they are distilling the same message, though different in little alterations to personality. The same basic message is still the same. And this is it, folks. That's the golden key of the tarot. That's when you start to recognize the pattern of truth. When you see a validation. And and then you just sit back and watch and you see it happens. So, and you'll see where we don't quite get it, but we're human vessels and we're interpreting this stuff. And yeah, that does affect our reading. We can't help that. We try to, and we do our best. But sometimes it just does. So, back to Gretchen Whitmer. in Michigan. Eek. You know, I have friends from Michigan, and Michigan don't play. And when you get people trying that kind of stuff, I can see why the FBI, of course, because she's their governor, holy, you know. And there was a comment on a article that I posted in my comments tab that somebody made on the people that they've caught so far involved in the plot to kidnap Gretchen, where they said, "Oh my God, I'm in Texas. I'm actually glad that I'm not there. You're doing that to your own governor." And I was kind of like, "Woo!" So I'm concerned for her. I feel like if I haven't looked at her, then I am really not doing her a solid. She's the Democratic governor, and she's been in there, and enough for them to hate her, how they do, women that are Democrats. They can find their foibles or whatever and just make them, they can be annoying, but they take it over the top with their hatred. And it's clear that there's a misogynist problem from the far right that have taken over the Republican Party. The fascists. So if you think that my calling them fascist is my being biased and not the truth, get the fuck out of here. I will remove you on my channel. You're not going to post your propaganda here. Word. That's right, I said word. I'm old school. Homie, don't play. All right, there's another old school one for you. All right. Gretchen Whitmer, is she safe? And I take this very seriously. I'm not like, oh, this is, even though this is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, I find it a little, I don't find it so entertaining. I just am very hopeful that she'll be okay, and that her family and she will be fine, and that people won't do this. We don't need to do it. We can use law, people. We don't need to kill people. That is not the solution. Ugh. Out of here with that. All right, Gretchen Whitmer. Okay, I get the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. There's a message about well-being, an independent wealth. I think this has something to do with the men that are involved. The world and strength. I think she will be protected now. And she's been protected. I mean, obviously, the FBI investigated and prevented this. Thank God. So she's been protected, and she will, I feel like, remain protected. Watched over. That's what I'm getting from the Strength card, that traditionally has the woman and the lion, and it shows the gentle hand of truth using to control more raw response of any kind. So I feel like shit's handled, frankly. My cards know how to speak to me. And that's just it. The cards will come through a variety of, they will bring the truth, but with the flavor of the reader will be around it. You can't help it. But it doesn't get in the way of the message. If it gets in the way of the message, then there's probably some ego stuff going on, or somebody's made a mistake, and that's sometimes happens. It doesn't mean that their readings are all invalid or something like that. It happens. Not often, but it can happen. All right, this second line. Oh, the 5 of Pentacles and the 3. So that shows, I believe, the plot to betray her. And I think, actually, I don't think it was just kidnapping. I think they intended to kill her. During COVID. So that marries up. And this is, I think, because I read in pairs, the protection, I think, of her family and her general well-being is watched over with awareness. So I see her as, I think, being well looked after, but it doesn't mean that she can put her guard down. Sorry, it always makes a horrible noise, so I'm just going to pull that this way, and I'm going to have to scoot my little butt over this way. All right. I needed to do that anyway. So here we have the law, folks, involved. In her plot, there's a triangle of 3 starting, more than one person involved, and the law is going to find out who they are. And this is going to create change. This is where there comes a change that is significant with the Wheel of Fortune. And a King of Wands. So in particularly, it looks like there is some kind of link or some kind of significant event and change. And there's a connection that this male, this King of Wands, in connection to the case, has. So let's see what that, when I read, horizontally we have strength, the 3 of Wands, and then the King of Wands. And I'm thinking this is maybe a figurehead of who called for this. Who put these thugs to the task? Or who amongst them came up with the idea? Who's the brainiac that figured this one out? But this feels like there's a message. Somebody's sending a message to others to try to attack or take her. And I think, their plot gets interrupted. Quite obviously. She's not, and hopefully nothing more will be coming down in the future. And that's what I'm concerned about. And this quite possibly could actually be in the future. There's going to be something more about a particular male. A fiery type nature. King of Wands, an adult man specifically who bears some kind of significant brunt where this plot is concerned. And I do see this as the Empress. This, and to me, this is her as a mother, as a woman. And a King of Swords, is that Trump? Could also be the FBI continuing to survey her and make sure she's okay. Because the under a we're not used to a healthy King of Wands. Swords, I'm sorry, we are used to, but he is also kind of wandy in his own way. We're used to, and unfortunately being shown the ugly side, the dark side of the Gemini with him. And the air signs, also Libra and Aquarius too, would have this kind of aspect in their own way, respectively. But this could also be in the healthy way of the surveillance that has gone on to protect her. Let's just see. Well, I get the Devil. Yeah, and the here was the plot to kidnap and the activity. Okay, so I feel like, and they'll keep an eye on them. They're not, now that they know what they're up to, they're, hyper vigilant. But you still don't want to let your guard down. And this is Emperor, and this is, I think, Gretchen, because she is a Virgo, Earth, Queen of Earth. Emperor is the friggin' president. It can also be an authority in government, but the Emperor is usually Trump. Now, this might be the angle of them looking at, did Trump have any knowledge? I don't know if he did. And who knows with the state of his mind currently. He probably yee-hawed and raised a fist, a salute to them if he knew about it. If he knew about it. Who knows what his mind could contain. He's shown us in the past that he sides with the side of racists, and that's how he thinks. So he doesn't like most women. He's a misogynist. Even the women he does like, he's despairing of them, and judgmental and horrible, just upon women in general. It's disgusting. And this is the rule. This is some kind of spotlight on some kind of authority or rule, law, or someone telling somebody else what to do. Cough, cough. And this is consequences. That FBI stings you and finds out who your partners are, and especially the high-profile ones. And there is worry. There is worry. And also, could this represent the muddled state of mind of Trump? Because I'm kind of getting under this medication, this card for him, kind of this distorted sense of reality. And this feels to me like his troubled mind. So he's coming in on her reading. And did he ask the public? Did he inspire the public to help him in Michigan by doing this? Was there an agreement? Did he inspire these people in Michigan in some way? That's what's going to be looked at. even if he didn't directly know. And I see they'll be finding evidence that's really damning. I'm getting like a big drop of evidence, significant, something significant, to make sense of the picture. And this is them, I believe, interrupting these kinds of plans going on. I don't believe that, unfortunately, her case stands out, but she may not be alone. We may have, as part of our future, to deal with more groups like this, displaying these threats against our officials. We'll have more domestic terror groups, which doesn't surprise me. Other readers and I have seen this. So some of those people will be apologists. Some of them will embrace violence to do that and go that route. But I believe that much of it will be caught, and I think that she'll be okay. But I think the reason we need to be aware of it is because going in to expect to see a bit more of that, and especially as Trump goes out the door, and what tactics may be used in revenge and employment and inspiration. So I'll leave you with that. I think that Gretchen will be fine, but she's going to have to watch out, and she's watched over well.